You're watching France24. It's time now for our daily look at the papers with Richard Thomsett. Richard, welcome to you. Luckily enough, the papers aren't on strike here in France today, so they seem to be talking about the honeymoon period, though, over for Nicolas Sarkozy.
Well, yes, and certainly in more ways than one. And the focus very much today on these reports that the President and his wife, Cecilia, have begun divorce proceedings. There has been, of course, much speculation over the past few months that the relationship was on the rocks. And since Sarkozy came to power in May, Cecilia has been conspicuous in her absence at many of his public appearances. And that speculation has reached a crescendo, in the past couple of weeks, and it seems to have reached a head. So let's take a look now at what the French papers are saying about this. The headline in Libération says it all: Cecilia's a desperate housewife. It reports that, according to its sources, Cecilia went to a court in a Paris suburb at the beginning of this week to ask for a formal separation. And that conflicts with a story appearing in this week's Nouvel Observateur, which says they both went to see a judge in another part of Paris. So it's unclear exactly what happened, but these stories in the same vein pretty much. The Le Parisien also headlines on the story. A page turns, the headline there. Inside it says, "This is the moment of truth for the couple." And the pressure is now very much on Sarkozy to make a statement about this, particularly with an EU summit coming up in Lisbon, and nobody wants this relationship business to overshadow that, and the reform of the treaty, etc. So, and yet there's silence so far from the Élysée Palace, and the Le Parisien is asking, is the silence going to continue? So the pressure very much on Sarkozy, and of course abroad this story is attracting
huge,
a lot of interest. Yeah, the British daily Independent, though, has an interesting take on it. It raises questions over the legality of the Sarkozy divorce. It asks, is it possible for the president to get divorced while he's still in office? According to the Constitution, it says he's immune from all illegal proceedings, but the paper asks, does this apply to divorce as well? And well, it doesn't offer any answers, but of course we'll see how this pans out. What
about the strike, though, Richard? I mean, is everybody sort of gloating at the French on that one? That
well,
their country is ground to a halt?
Yes. I mean, it's par for the course, really, when it comes to the international media, the British media in particular. And but at home, it's a big deal, of course, and it's very much being painted as Nicolas Sarkozy's first big test as president, and that's certainly the case here in Le Figaro. The front page story saying the government is showing no signs of backing down on its planned reforms of special pension privileges for certain state workers. In Britain's Guardian, the headline, France prepares for Black Thursday. It says the strike will test Sarkozy's will to face down the French unions. And it says it revives grim memories of the 1995 winter of discontent when there was a 3-week transport strike which brought the country to a halt.
Mm-hmm. And finally, another side effect from this strike, though, just briefly.
Of course, with the Rugby World Cup final between England and South Africa on Saturday, this strike is going to pose problems for England fans trying to get to the match.
Yikes.
Eurostar apparently have put on extra trains, according to the Times. But, well, so far only a few hundred fans affected, it seems, so most of them are going to make it, I think.
I think the English are going to think the French have done it on purpose, though. But anyway, thank you very much to Richard Thomsett for that review of the papers. My vote for the best headline of the week definitely goes to Libération for Desperate Housewife. Stay tuned to France24. Thanks.